Hello, I am Kovid Goyal, the creator of Kitty. In this video, I will give you a brief tour of Kitty's productivity enhancing features. Kitty started as a personal project to enhance my own terminal experience, but has since grown into something used by thousands of people the world over. Kitty is designed for terminal power users, people who, like me, prefer to spend the entire day in the terminal and use the terminal for every task imaginable. Kitty has many features and niceties that make this kind of workflow both more productive and more fun. Let's start with something simple. Often, when running commands in the terminal, it so happens that a command produces lots of output and takes a long time to run. You might find yourself wanting to examine that output in more detail. You can, of course, scroll up and just look at the output, but sometimes it's useful to open it in an editor or a pager and say search through it or filter it. Kitty has a built-in feature wherein if you press the key, Control Shift and G key, the output from the last command opens in the pager. As you can see here, the output from the ls command is opened in a pager, less in my case. This is not limited to just the last command. You can actually scroll up, and here you can see compile output from building Kitty. To examine the output of any previous command, you hold the Control Shift key and right click on the output, and there you go, it opens in the pager as before. I can now search through it or refer to it to my heart's content. You can even use Kitty's multiple windows feature to have the pager window pop up as a separate window. So you can see here there are now two windows. One has the original shell and one has the output from the clicked command open in a pager. So I can scroll through this output and refer to it while typing future commands. I find this facility extremely handy and use it several times every day. Note that this feature is implemented in Kitty by means of shell integration. Shell integration means that Kitty works with common shells such as Bash, Z shell, Fish, etc. to enable this and other niceties. So for example, you will notice that the current working directory is shown in the window title bar. If I change to some other directory, the window title bar changes. Similarly, if I run a command, say for example sleep, the name of the command shows up in the window title bar while it's running. Once the sleep is over, the title bar goes back to the working directory. So this is a small example of some of Kitty's productivity features that make working the terminal all day much more fun and productive. Now let's try something a little more fancy. Consider that most quotidian of terminal experiences, listing files. So here we go, let's list some files. Looks pretty standard so far, a rather colorful list of files in a couple of directories. The fun starts when you click on one of these files. So for example, let's see how Kitty is launched. Holding down the Control Shift keys, I click on it, and as you can see, the launcher.c file is opened up in my editor of choice, which is Vim, and I can edit it to do whatever simply by clicking on the file. And that's not all, you can even click on an image. For example, let's click on the Kitty logo, and there we go, it opens in the terminal. You can view the image. So as you can see, simply clicking on files in the listing, you can open them. And of course, Kitty is meant for power users, which means that you don't have to use the mouse. You can instead press Control Shift P and Y, and it lists all the files with a number next to their names. So for example, if I press 6, once again the Kitty logo opens up. These features are powered by two things. The first is the ls command has a facility to output hyperlinks. So let's see here, the ls command on my computer, as you can see here, has the hyperlink auto flag added to it. This means that every file that ls lists is actually a hyperlink, You can see that it gets underlined when you move the mouse over it. The second thing that makes this possible is a piece of configuration in Kitty called openactions.conf. In this file, you can tell Kitty what to do when you open a file, for example, by clicking on it. So here you can see that this entry on this line tells Kitty that for files of MIME type text, open it in the editor in an overlay window, which means a window overlaid on the current window. Similarly, image files are opened in Kitty itself using the iCat kitten, and so on. This entry here is of particular interest. It uses another kitten, which is a small program that's part of Kitty, to allow you to directly click on search results from a grep tool and open them in an editor. So let's see that in action. Here we go. Let me run my grep tool, and search for, say, hyperlink. Here you can see a bunch of results. So moving the mouse over these results, they get underlined, indicating they're clickable. So let's open this one. And there you see it has opened in the editor right on the clicked line. This is extremely convenient when searching through files in the terminal. This in turn is powered by, let's see here what we have, and the kitten. Now kittens are small Kitty programs that enhance its functionality. So here the kitten is the hyperlinked grep kitten. So what that does is it takes the output from a grep program and adds hyperlinks to it so that they become clickable when displayed in Kitty. So as you can see here, these simple features that are designed in a composable and modular way allow you to greatly enhance the experience of using a terminal. Since we have been talking of hyperlinks, let's note that their usefulness is not limited only to the local machine. You can even use them over SSH connections to remote servers. So for example, let me SSH into one of my servers and do an ls hyperlink auto. You can see some files have been listed. One of them is an image. Let's click on this image and see what happens. As you can see, it opens up in Kitty Kitten. This is the remote file kitten, and it gives you some options for what you want to do with the image. You can edit it, you can open it, you can save it to your local computer. So let's choose to open it to view the file locally. There we go. The remote file kitten seamlessly downloads the image in the background and opens it locally on the local computer. This is useful if particularly for viewing complicated files such as images, videos, etc. that the remote server may not be able to handle. But the remote file kitten is not limited simply to opening. You can also edit files. So for example, here we have a simple text file. Let's click on it, and once again the remote file kitten opens. It gives you the option to edit the file, so let's choose that option by pressing the E key. You can see that the kitten downloads the file, and let's make some changes to it. Notice that this is running in Vim on my local machine with all the customization and facilities available. Let me save and quit Vim. The remote file kitten automatically updates the file on the server. Let's cat it again, and you see that the file has been edited as expected. This is really useful if you tend to spend a lot of time SSH'd into servers and you need to make a one-off edit using a fancy editor or similar. I should note that as far as it comes to images, you can actually view images directly over SSH connections thanks to yet another kitten, the iCat image viewing kitten in Kitty. We'll discuss that and some more fancy kittens in the following segment. Now it's time to have some fun with images. I know terminals are text devices, but sometimes it's cool to be able to display images, and even useful if you're SSH'd into a remote computer and need to quickly look at a graph or a report that's available as an image. So without further ado, let's see how we do that. We use the iCat kitten, which is a small program written that's distributed as part of Kitty that can display images within Kitty. Here I'll display the Kitty logo. As you can see, it shows up as an image right there in the terminal itself. The iCat kitten can also download images from the internet and display them. Here we'll see it doing that with an animated GIF of a Rubik's Cube. I have iCat aliased as just the iCat command on my computer. So here you see it's downloaded the Rubik's Cube and it's displaying the animation. The animation will continue playing even while you type other commands. The Kitty graphics protocol that powers the iCat kitten is integrated with many other programs. For example, the Ranger file manager. Here you see we've opened a folder full of images, and as you scroll through the files, Ranger displays thumbnails of the images using the Kitty graphics protocol right there in the terminal. Another cool feature of the Kitty graphics protocol is that it works over SSH. So if I SSH into one of my servers and run iCat athenaum.jpg, you see that the image is displayed directly in the terminal, even though it's on a remote server. The image data is sent over the TTY pipe over SSH. When running locally, the graphics protocol is smart enough to avoid the overhead of doing this and to use the local file system to display images. Another cool kitten that Kitty has is the Unicode input kitten, which you can use to input arbitrary Unicode symbols, emoji, etc. into your terminal. Just press Ctrl-Shift-U and then type the name of the symbol you want. So for example, here we have a cat. We can insert a cat face with tears of joy into our terminal, and there you have it right there at the prompt. You can search for all sorts of symbols. Here we have some beer. Let's celebrate this great kitten right here. So this is useful if you find yourself doing a lot of chatting using terminal chat programs such as WeChat, and you want to send your buddies emoji or other symbols. We have talked a fair bit about kittens and how they can be used to enhance the terminal experience. Now let's discuss something more basic: window management. Kitty has the ability to tile multiple windows next to each other and manage them using flexible layouts. You can also create multiple tabs. So let's create some windows by pressing Ctrl-Shift-Enter. You see we have 3 windows tiled next to each other. You can create some new tabs as well. The tabs are displayed at the bottom. The tab titles show the current working directory, or actually whatever title the program running in the shell sets. So let's close these tabs, get back to the windows. As you can see, these windows are tiled next to each other. You can press Ctrl-Shift and the window number to switch to a window. So 1 for the first, 2 for the second, 3 for the third, and so on. You can even visually shift by pressing Ctrl-Shift-F7 and simply typing the number of the window you want to shift to. Now while we're discussing multiple windows, let's look at a cool feature whereby we can type in one window and have the text appear in all the windows simultaneously. This is useful if you want to do a poor man's automation of multiple servers, for example. To do this, let's open the Kitty shell, which we can do by pressing Ctrl-Shift-Escape. The Kitty shell is a shell where you can issue commands to Kitty itself to make it do things. So here, let's first change the layout to grid, which works better with 4 windows. And now to actually broadcast the text, we'll need to launch the broadcast kitten, which we can do like this. and we see that we have a broadcast window available at which we can type. Let me type the command ls. You see that ls has been typed in every single window. You can backspace and it works as expected. Let's execute the ls command, and we see that the ls has been executed in every window, showing different outputs. Let's clear out these outputs and end the broadcast session. So as you can see here, the Kitty shell is quite a powerful tool. Note that the shell is powered by something called the Kitty Remote Control Protocol. This allows you to control Kitty from other shells, other terminals, programs running on your computer, etc. This is very powerful, and anything you can do in the shell you can also do via the remote control facility. Let's have a quick look at it. Change the layout to stack so we are focused on the shell window. Let's see some commands. So here you can see a list of commands available in the shell. You can do things like create new windows, set window titles, set window logos, send text to windows, change the opacity, select windows, all sorts of things, resize them, send signals to children running in Windows, etc. You can change the colors, you can run kittens, and on and on and on. So this forms a general scripting ability for Kitty and allows you to control Kitty and automate various tasks in it. Your imagination is the limit when it comes to use cases. Since this is supposed to be a brief tour, I think I'll end here, but before I go, let's see how to bling up the Kitty terminal a bit by changing its colors. Kitty actually has a themes kitten that has a large collection of themes downloaded from a central repository. Let's run it and see what happens. So here you can see there are literally hundreds of themes organized by dark and light colors. You can choose a theme you want. So for example, I like Belafonte, so let's change to that by pressing the enter key and then the M key to tell the kitten to modify kitty.conf to make the change permanent, and you see that Kitty now uses the Belafonte theme. Note that the kitten can actually be run non-interactively as well. So for example, if you specify the theme name on the command line, it will change the theme directly without running interactively. You can actually choose where all to change the colors, either in the current terminal or all running terminals on your system. So as you can see, the themes kitten is a nice way to make your terminal experience a little more colorful. I personally use it to adjust the colors to the time of day so that the screen ambient brightness is the best match for my eyes. And I think with that I'll say goodbye and thank you, and hope you enjoy using Kitty.